We passed Juliet, Coquihalla, Romeo, Iago, Aram. We're gonna go all the way down. And these are Shakespearean characters, because Andrew McCullough loved Shakespeare. He'd recite Shakespeare, and Andrew McCullough is the mastermind. Crossed over the Coquihalla Highway. That's the Coquihalla right there. We're on the 5A. Good old 5A. I love this highway. It was the Coquihalla Highway before the Coquihalla. It's not exactly a highway. Like it's a highway, but it's more of like a 2-lane, narrow, windy road kind of a thing. But it's a really cool area, guys, the 5A. Some really cool stuff around here. Logan Lake, copper mining, guys. Highland Valley Copper. So we're in the high plains, guys. This is the high plains of the Nicola Plateau. So it's a bit basically bunch grass, sagebrush, and a little bit of trees. It's kind of like in a mix in between desert and plains. So it's weird. But it's interesting. It's a very interesting area. Lots of cool stuff around here. So we're gonna go up to Nicola Lake, and Nicola Lake had a whole bunch of mines going on, guys. The old ghost town of Nicola as well. The Quilchena Hotel. Quilchena Hotel is awesome, guys. What a fantastic little hotel. So 5A, windy road, slow down on the curves. It's a good road, though. I like the 5A a lot, actually. It's quite a fun road to take. Right through the Nicola Plateau. In wintertime, it's snowy on the Coke, but this is lower down in the valley bottom, so it tends to not be as snowy. So this is the old town of Nicola. Nicola was actually supposed to be the big town, and Merritt was supposed to not really be much at all, but the train going right through Merritt ended up beating out Nicola. But Nicola used to be a big place, and at one time it was thought that Nicola would become the big place, but it never panned out. Merritt became the big place, and Merritt was like right in the center of the train. The train came right through Merritt, and it's an easy shoot. Now they were thinking eventually of moving the line, the Nicola, Kamloops, and Similkameen. The funny thing about the railway is that the promoters, Merritt and Allison and a couple others, they called it Kamloops because they wanted to make the railway seem more prestigious. And they actually built 11 kilometers out up to Kamloops going this way to the Quilchena Hotel, but it never got any further. But it went up to the Quilchena Hotel, so the Quilchena Hotel became a whole thing, and it was used for tourism and people getting vacations away. We'll go see the Quilchena Hotel. Absolutely fantastic hotel, guys. Amazing hotel. So there's that. And then basically all along Nicola Lake, guys, this is Nicola Lake here. There's copper, there's coal, there's gold. So there's several mines. There used to be, back in the day, you could see all the old tipples and the mill buildings and everything like that. A lot of it's gone now. Pretty much almost all of it is. Maybe we'll find some excavation piles or benches or anything, right? I always keep my eyes peeled when I'm driving around, as best you can when you're driving. There's another road on the other side that you can take, which just takes you around the lake. It's a little more circuitous and slower. We're going to do that at some point. This is only our first show, guys, of this area. We are going to be back, so don't worry if I miss something or I don't mention something. It's all good. Relax. You'll get it, guys. We're coming back. It's just kind of the introductory. Okay, guys, so here we are. Nicola Lake, Highway 5A. I see what looks like potentially a mine of sorts. There's only one way to find out. Go look at the rocks. I saw something that looked like an old mine or tailings pile or something. I see a lot of potential stuff here. This just looks like dirt, though. I was hoping there'd be a mine here, or because if you look at it, it looks like there's been some activity going on here. But this is the problem when you're trying to find stuff, guys. It's so overgrown. You can't even really tell, because this would have been a long time ago. Right here, guys. This looks like it could have been something. Let's go take a look at these rocks, because there's definitely some interesting colors here. But this is Nicola Lake, guys. Copper, coal, and gold all along here. I'm not gonna go too much further. I've kind of walked the area that I thought there would be stuff, but This is all just rockfall stuff. This is not, no, it's all super overgrown. Walk back the other way and just check. I basically saw something that looked like it could have been a coal mine or a big pile of tailings, but with the amount that it's overgrown, it's difficult to tell. But like right here was where I was wanting to look. Definitely seems like somebody was doing something up there. That doesn't seem natural. Just too much stuff going on there. We're up in the high plateau, Nicola Plateau. It's a sub-plateau of the Thompson Plateau. There would have been copper, gold, and gold all through here. And then the Quilchena Hotel is just a little bit further up that way. Okay guys, so this is Quilchena. This is as far as the railroad would have made it back in the day, the NKNS. They were gonna try and go on to Kamloops, but it never materialized. So this is the famous Quilchena Hotel, guys. It's one of the original hotels still surviving. This is the Quilchena Hotel. Absolutely gorgeous hotel, Quilchena. Here we are, guys, Quilchena General Store. This is a good little stop. So that's the general store. They got one of these old gas pumps. It's non-functional, but they're still really cool. Old gas pump with the handle. And then that's Quilchena General Store. And then this over here is the Quilchena Hotel, one of the original hotels left in BC. So from the period, guys, which is really cool that it's still surviving. And then this is as far as the train would have come. Past here, there's still more stuff to talk about, but it's not for the NKNS guys. This is the absolute end of the line, basically. That's the Quilchena Hotel. Okay guys, so here we are, Nicola. So we went up to Quilchena. This is Nicola. Not really much left. There's a couple little things, Nicola Ranch and stuff, but another day, guys, another day. Nicola's kind of its own thing as well, so. But we're on the 5A. We're about to come back into Merritt because Merritt's just over there. Yeah, on the train, trying to find the rail grade, but I haven't really seen too much. A lot of this is farmers' fields now, so it's been kind of replaced. But, yep, the train would have run through here. All the way up to Quilchena, and it never made it to Kamloops, guys. Okay, guys, here we are, Nicola Lake, the boat launch. Nice place to go fishing. Route through the Nicola Valley, perfect. Look at this. From New Caledonia, we're initially transported by heavily laden horse brigades via Fort Kamloops and the Okanagan Valley to Fort Vancouver, now Vancouver, Washington. When the international boundary was established in 1846, the Hudson's Bay Company was forced to abandon its Okanagan route and blaze a new trail through the Nicola Valley and across the Cascades to Fort Hope on the Lower Fraser. During the Fraser and Caribou gold rushes, the lush grasslands of the Thompson and Nicola Valleys attracted settlers and ranchers who required roads to bring in supplies and drive their cattle to the coast. In 1875, a wagon road linked Nicola with the Caribou Wagon Road at Spence's Bridge. The next year, the Fur Brigade Trail was replaced by a shorter cattle trail slashed along the Coldwater and Coquihalla rivers to Hope. By 1878, a wagon road connected Kamloops and Nicola Lake, but not until 1898 was a road completed to Princeton, thereby providing the Similkameen with road access to the Canadian Pacific Railway at Kamloops and Spence's Bridge. Today, the Nicola is served by modern highways linking the coast with the interior. Okay, so that you can see the 1849 Brigade Trail here. You can see the cattle trail, the 1875 road. So this road connects to Spence's Bridge and the Caribou Wagon Road. The 1878 road connecting Kamloops to Merritt here, and then down through the Coldwater, Coquihalla here, and then on to Hope. The cattle trail here as well. New Caledonia, wow, that's really cool. And then this is the lake. Okay, so we're on Coldwater Road. We're gonna go to the Coldwater 1 reservation, which is like the native reserve, which is actually where William Merritt found the coal, the big coal seam that launched Merritt into the railway town that it became. So we're basically driving parallel with the Coquihalla, but we're not on the Coke. The old rail grade used to go through here. So we're gonna pass a few stations of note. We're gonna pass Glen Walker, Pine, Kingsvale, and then Brody, which is at the junction to where the KBR meets the main line near Brookmere. Check my Brookmere video out if you haven't seen that. And then basically continuing on all the way down through the Coquihalla. We got all the stops. We got Romeo, Juliet, Iago, Arum, Coquihalla. So these were all the old stations. We just come into Coldwater. So this is where William Merritt found coal. And there's coal seams all around here. It's similar to the Similkameen coal field out near Princeton. We're not far from there. But this is the basically Coldwater 1, guys. This is the Nicola Band reservation. So this is where he discovered coal. And when you go to Merritt, actually, underneath the town of Merritt, there's a huge coal deposit. So the actual town of Merritt is built on a coal deposit. In those hills, southwest of Merritt, is coal all over the place, guys. Tons and tons of coal. But this is Coldwater, guys. This is the town. Nice little area. Merritt found coal, and that's what instigated the NK&S railway. So he found coal and then was like, hey, well, we need a way to transport all this coal to market. Because, okay, it's one thing, it's like anything, any load property that's like copper, silver, coal, you find it and you get it staked and all that. Okay, all right, so we got a good deposit. But it's not really worth anything unless, like, the claim itself is worth money, but to the guy, you know, who owns it, it's not really worth anything unless you're extracting the ore, whatever ore that may be. But you need all kinds of tools and equipment and knowledge. But not only that, how are you going to transport it? You going to drive dump truck loads to the refinery every day? Or, like, how are we doing it? So when Merritt discovered coal, his thought process was, well, we'll build a railway. And so then he tried, like I was talking about, the Nicola Valley Railway and then the NK&S Railway, and how they were fighting over, like, who was going to get the railway. And then the Nicola Valley Railway said they would build it, but then they never actually did. And then it got resurrected in the early 1900s is when they actually were like, okay, we're going to actually build this railway now. And so the KVR had already had all the infrastructure in. And so Brookmere, guys, is really important because it's pretty much the terminus for the NK&S meeting with the actual Kettle Valley line. Everything we've been doing from basically Spence's Bridge to Merritt and now down to here, Brodie Brookmere area, is the NK&S Railway. We drove up to Nicola Quilchena. That's where they had the spur going. But we're driving through the valley in the Coldwater River Valley. The Coquihalla is like right there, guys. We've been driving. I'm doing about 80, twisting and turning. You go up there, you do 120 on the Coke, right? But this is a good route. This is like if you don't want to take the Coke and you're fed up with the Coquihalla, because it can be annoying at times, especially when there's, you know, festivals or whatever's going on, right? Coquihalla is always busy. This is kind of the road less traveled, guys. It's way better. The road less traveled is usually better, guys. It may take a little longer. It may, like, you can literally see the Coquihalla right up there. It's way up high, guys. That's modern highways for you. You'd never do that with a railway. But you can see right up there. That's literally the Coquihalla, probably 500-600 feet above us right now. So we're just driving through the valley, basically low level through the valley, Coldwater River. But definitely warranted prospecting around here. This whole region, guys, the Nicola Plateau, like, if you can deal with the overburden and you've got ideas for dealing with overburden, then it could be very, very promising, guys. There's a lot of potential. Even Bill Barley back in the 90s said, for the right kind of prospector, this region presents a lot of opportunity, guys, because you've got gold, you've got copper, you've got coal, you've got silver, you've got the big four pretty much, basically. And, you know, the town's there, the refinery's there, the infrastructure's all set up to go. Kamloops is, you know, not too far. Same with Kelowna, same with Princeton, same with Vancouver. It's all very centralized. But the rail grade would have gone through what is probably now those farm fields. And there was basically Glen Walker, Pine, Kingsvale. We're going to pass Kingsvale as well. Brodie is after Brookmere and kind of pretty much the junction point. But Brodie's just like, nobody really knows what Brodie is. Brookmere is kind of the big town. So Brookmere would have been the last spike. Oh, cows on the road. Not only was it the last spike, but it was the major terminus for what would become the Nicola, Kamloops, and Similkameen Railway. Yeah, you wouldn't do this on the railway. We're going uphill. It's like not a bad road, though. Shocked it's still paved. I'm waiting for it to run out. But we're following it all the way down. And this would have been cattle trails, bush trails, HBC trails, trying to prevent the Americans, guys. Everything we do here in Canada is trying to prevent you Americans from taking it away from us. Okay, so here we are, guys. We're just about to finish this little cool road, Coldwater Road. Kingsvale is like right around here. And then you got Cane Valley Road, which will take you, that's another really cool drive that takes you over kind of towards the Okanagan. We'll do that at some point. We'll do the Douglas Ranch too. Lots of fun. It's just, it goes on and on and on, guys. It's been days and days doing this stuff. I still wouldn't cover it all. Trans Mountain Pipeline comes through here. The old Nicola Kamloops Similkameen Railway. And it terminates pretty soon, guys. Once we join the highway around near Brookmere, we're basically, that's it, guys. That's the end of the railway. But you can see this is the valley, Coldwater River Valley. Over there on the other side, guys, coal deposits. Tons of coal deposits. Very hot though. Really, really hot. 25 degrees. The Coquihalla is right there, guys. Right just up above and behind us. So we're basically gaining elevation now. And we're going to meet with the Coquihalla pretty soon, just after Kingsvale. And then there'll be a little bit of driving until we get to Brodie, which is just before Brookmere. And then that's it. That's the end of the railway, guys. The Nicola Kamloops Similkameen. We'll have done the whole area, the whole railway, which is awesome. And then basically, once we get to that area, Brodie, we're get on the Coquihalla, and it's business as usual. And you go past Britton Creek, Coquihalla Lakes. You come down through the snow shed. You go past all the mines. Absolute bug slaughter on the front here. We just passed the junction for Cane Valley Road to go to the ski resort. Kingsvale Bridge, Voigt Creek. Back in the valley again for the railway. This is right at the end of the Nicola Kamloops Similkameen Railway. Trying to see if there's any remnants. Now it's all farming field now. Those farmers, they take the rail grades away so they can farm. So we're making our way to the Coquihalla, guys. We're about to just literally line right up with it. It's a nice road though, man. I really like this road. It's a fun one. This is the junction for the Coquihalla here. Ooh, traffic or something going on out here. But yeah, the Coquihalla is right there, guys. So 5 south. So we're just about to merge with it here. Now we got to join the Coquihalla. This once we get past these little cattle guards here. Stop the cows from going on the Coquihalla. And over the cattle guard. Do not go the wrong way, because that wouldn't be good. And then here we go. So here we go, guys, Coquihalla. So here we are, Coquihalla Summit. I love these two mountains. They look awesome. You can see though, the rocks. Prospecting up there would be pretty interesting. Doesn't look like there's much up there for prospecting, but the gold in the Coquihalla is weird. It's like, it can be in talcose here. There's talcose veins, like literally, like it's weird. It's very weird. Lots of serpentine too, but this is the gold area. There's always a little bit in various places, but the question is it enough to make it profitable, right? Because you can have gold somewhere, but just because there's gold somewhere doesn't mean that that's going to do anything, or even that it's going to be worth anything, because by the time you extract the gold, get it down, process it, ship it to market, you could be losing money. So some mines don't get mined just because it's not economically feasible because of the conditions. There's a lot of gold hiding way up high in the mountains, so far away from road access. And that stuff's so hard to mine just because of its location, first of all, but it's the logistics and everything else that goes with it. So it's like, okay, so we've got to build a road. Well, okay, how much does that cost? We got to have a mill on site. So you build a mill, you do all of this, and then you got to ship it, and who's going to buy it, and what's the price of gold? Nowadays, that's not as much of a worry, but before, and like during the wars and stuff, it was a huge deal. It's this side of the Coquihalla that tends to have the mineralization. This side a little bit, but not as much. This side's the placer side. So you've got Sawaka, platinum, gold. We were pulled out near Brookmere there after we took the Coldwater Road, Kingsvale. We've been coming down and we passed Juliet, Coquihalla, Romeo, Iago, Aram. We're gonna go all the way down. And these are Shakespearean characters, because Andrew McCullough loves Shakespeare. He'd recite Shakespeare. And Andrew McCullough is the mastermind of the KVR. So it came from Brookmere all the way down through the canyon, a series of trestles, and down into Hope. And then from Hope, it met up with the main line, the CP main line, which would go down to Port Moody. And Port Moody would be where everything got shipped out to Asia, in South America, or, you know, Europe if you're going through canals and stuff. But Zopkis, guys, just at the summit, really, really nice. This is where all the truckers line up to check their brakes, make sure those brakes are good, because Coquihalla is, you burn your brakes out going down this road very, very, very easily. And the other thing too is you don't know what's behind that rock. So just because the front face of the rock isn't showing anything, you never know, guys. That's prospecting. But we're going to continue down and we're going to get to the Othello tunnels, and then at Othello we're going to see the Quintet tunnels, the Coquihalla River. I did a video specifically on like Sawaka and more kind of the general gold mining. This is more of a KVR, but also mining, because the KVR is a mining railway. Zopkis brake check, guys. So if you like this kind of content, don't forget to like and subscribe, hit the bell icon to get notified, leave a comment. I'd love to hear from you, and thanks a lot.